Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I am filming a book haul. This is only my second book haul of the year. The last book haul I did was at the beginning of the year. So I've been doing so good on not buying books this year. In fact, most of the books I've gotten this year are from Katie, from Katie's Book Nook. She likes to send me books that like she has no need for anymore, like ARCs, especially if she's already read them or if she gets a finished copy. So when she clears space, I'm just like, give them to me. I would love to have them. So a lot of my books are from Katie, but in this book haul I have 15 books to show you, so let's get on into it. The first book I have to show you is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. If you've seen any of my videos from this year, you would know that this is my favorite book of the year. I am absolutely obsessed with it. It is obviously a vampire book. It is set in the 90s and it follows a women's book club, and they like to read about true crime stories. And one of the ladies in the book club thinks that their life is just really boring, and a lot of them are put down by their husbands. They can't really do anything. This book has a lot of sexism in it, but Grady Hendrix really challenges that, and by the end of it you can see the women come into their own and become like super independent and powerful women. But basically they're in this book club and suddenly these missing kids start happening. There's murdered kids, missing kids, but it's on the other side of the tracks. Basically it's in the part of town where nobody really cares about, so it has a lot of topics like that, like sexism, racism, things like that, and Grady Hendrix does such a good job at challenging those. But when these kids start going missing, they start to think, is it a vampire? Who knows? There's this really cute, nice, charismatic neighbor that moves into their neighborhood and they're all obsessed with him, but he's really mysterious. And her mom, pretty sure she remembers him from her childhood. So it's crazy. It's good. It's also really gory, so just be aware of that. But yes, I absolutely loved it, and I definitely want to read more of Grady Hendrix because this was just amazing and it was everything I wanted in a new vampire book. The next book I have is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. So this follows a girl named Alessandra who has a plan to gain power. First, woo the Shadow King, 2, marry him, and 3, kill him and take his kingdom for herself. So basically the king she's trying to woo is known as the Shadow King, and he is always enveloped in shadows, and it's kind of like a power that he has and nobody really knows how it works, and he has a rule that nobody is allowed to touch him, and so she wants to try to get close to him so she can kill him and take the kingdom for herself. I did not like this book, so there's that, but Katie really loved it, so you might like it. I, however, did not like it. I did not like Alessandra. The Shadow King, however, was like super cool, and I wish there was more of that aspect in this. The next book I have is By the Book by Amanda Sillett, and honestly I just realized with a lot of these books that I'm hauling, I've already read them, so I'm doing really good. So this follows a girl named Mary Porter Malcolm, and she loves classic literature. So when she starts a new high school, she decides to kind of live her life as though she was in a classic literature novel and take advice from those novels. So she gets in this friend group, and of course they're in high school, there's love interests, there's all sorts of things, and she's kind of telling the friend group what they should do based on the books that she's read. It's so cute and so much fun, and of course the love interest is the guy that's in the classic literature books that you shouldn't be in love with, and there's chemistry, there's sparks. However, in this book though, I wish that there was more chemistry before they like got together. Like I wish there were more instances where they talked before they like started kissing, you know. But yes, I still really loved it and it was so cute. But if you don't want to be spoiled for classics, don't read this because it does spoil you a lot. But I actually loved that because I don't plan on reading those famous classics because I don't like classics, but I love that I know about them now. The next book I have is The Vanishing Deep by Astrid Schulte. This is another one that I absolutely loved that I read this year. This follows a girl named Tempe, and in this world it is set in the future, and there was this massive flood all over the earth. So basically the earth is just covered in water now, so people just live in this world of water. And so in this world, it's futuristic. You can bring someone dead back for 24 hours to get closure and say goodbye to them. So Tempe has been saving up money so she can bring her dead sister back because she has heard that her sister knows the secret about their parents' death. And so it is a 24-hour story, which I absolutely love 24-hour stories. I feel like they're just like super quick and like you can't put them down, and that's exactly how this one is. I also love the characters, and it talks a lot about grief in here, which was a really cool aspect to this, and I just really loved it. The next 2 books I have to haul are the same book, and that is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the US hardcover Collector's First Edition, and then I also have the Waterstones edition, which is absolutely stunning. I wish I had been collecting the Waterstones editions for like all the ones that they made, because now they're like extremely difficult to find. Maybe one day they'll put them back in print, but who knows. But yes, I haven't read this yet because I am currently rereading all of the Shadowhunter books to like continue with the new ones, so I'm excited to finally get to these one day. The next book I have is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Now this one I don't know much about. I should have already read this one, but it is massive and I'm scared of giant books, and I'm pretty sure it's fantasy and I'm scared of giant fantasy books, but I heard that there's vampires in here, and you know me, I love a good vampire story, so I'm so excited for it. But that's really all I know about this, other than like this was her surprise book. She like didn't announce it or anything, and then one day she was just like, I'm coming out with a book in a few days, so here you go. And I was like, I love her and I would order anything she writes. I have read, I can't remember how many books I've read of hers, like 7 books of hers so far, and I have given almost every one of them like 5 stars. I cannot wait to read this. If you read it, let me know, and let me know what you thought about the vampires in here, because I hope they are good, because I'm very picky about my vampires, so hopefully they're good. Speaking of vampires, the next books I have are part of a vampire manga series, and that is Happiness Volume 2 and Happiness Volume 3. I have read Volumes 1, 2, and 3, and these are the only ones that I own right now, so I definitely want to get them, like the rest of them. I think there's 10, so that's not a lot in a manga series, so hopefully I can get them. I love these so much. They're about vampires, that's all you really need to know, and the art style in here is incredible, and I just really love them. Of course, it would not be a book haul without showing The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. This, as you probably know, is the prequel story to The Hunger Games, and I personally adored it. I really, really loved it. I know it has some mixed opinions, but I feel like for the most part, if you're a giant fan of The Hunger Games, you really love the series, because there's so much detail in here that correlates to the original series, and it's just so cool getting a whole history of Panem. I absolutely loved it. Oh, it was so good, and I just have so many questions. The next book I have is Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan. This is the sequel to Wicked Saints. Wicked Saints is basically set in a world where there's 2 opposing sides. They're in a war. One of the sides follows the gods, and the other side are blood mages. I did not like this book, and I don't know if I'll continue the series. It's also like big. I have 1 tab in there because 2 characters got together I wasn't expecting. So that was the good part of this. That's why I gave it 2 stars instead of 1. But yes, I honestly don't even know what happened in here. So I don't know if I can continue because I have no idea what's happening. But yes, hauling this book. The next book I have is Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy. I really don't know anything about this. This is just another one of those that Katie read and loved, and she didn't need anymore, so she sent it to me. I'm really excited because I've heard really good things about this. Katie loves it, so hopefully I do too. I'm pretty sure it's fantasy, but that's all I know. So the bullet points here say a high-stakes impossible romance audiences will swoon over, evocative world building inspired by a universal folk tale. So we'll see. The next one I have is The Stars We Steal by Alexa Dunn. I don't know much about this, but it says back here, the Bachelorette goes to space in this gripping story about a young girl caught in a world of royal intrigue and romance. So I think it's like The Bachelor. That's what it says. So I'm excited because I love romance that's kind of like trashy, but like in a good way. The next book I have, I'm so excited for. I didn't even know Katie was sending this to me. The cover is stunning and the premise just sounds like so much fun. And that is The Life in Medieval Times of Kit Sweetly by Jamie Paxton. So this one I think is like a romance, and they work at like medieval times and something happens. That sounds fun. I don't know much, but I love contemporary romance, so I'm really excited. And the last book I have is another one Katie absolutely loved, and that is Havenfall by Sarah Holland. I don't know much about this one. I know it's another fantasy, so hopefully I like it. I'm like super picky about fantasies, especially lately. I have discovered that fantasy is not my favorite genre, so it takes more for me to pick it up, but this is another short fantasy, so hopefully I really like it. So those are all the books that I have to haul in this video. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought of them. I would love to know, but that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, my social media links will be down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!